Welcome to Sweet Independence, the podcast for beauty professionals ready to build the business of their dreams. I'm Kristen Kinzel, founder of Utopia Modern Salon Suites. With 34 years in this industry, I've seen firsthand the power of independence and community. We'll ditch the stress, unlock your potential, and give you the clarity and confidence to thrive. Get ready to transform your career and build the fulfilling life you deserve. Your flourishing future starts now. Thank you for joining us for another episode of Sweet Independence. Today we are in our Cranbrook location on 21st Street in Wichita, Kansas, and we are in Ashleigh Jones's suite. And Ashleigh is a permanent makeup artist who recently began her business here at our Cranbrook location. We are excited to have her. So welcome, Ashleigh. Thank you for being here. And I think Ashleigh's story on how she got started and where she came from is really interesting. So I'm going to let her share that.
Hi, everyone. Thank you for having me. So in the early days, I was balancing part-time work with some cosmetic surgeons and then also renting a little room doing eyebrow waxing and tinting. Then I started getting into cosmetic tattooing. And so my main focus was building clientele, literally just doing eyebrows. All I focused on was eyebrows. And then my business just started growing and I had to quit my part-time job and just focus on the business. Because I was focused on just one thing, I became known in Perth, Western Australia for just eyebrows and creating just natural brows. So I ended up with quite a big waiting list and I just thought I need a bigger space and I need employees.
That's excellent.
So yeah, I ended up moving from my little room to a big space and it was exciting, scary, but it was a really, really good chapter that I experienced. And then I ended up with like 7 employees and it was fun.
Then when did you leave Perth and move to the United States? How did that all work with the business you had built there and relocating?
So I've had the business for 12 years and I actually moved to the US 5 years ago. When I started a business, my whole goal was to create a business where I could eventually step back.
Which is exactly what defines the success of a business.
Yes.
A business that you can step away from. I love that.
Definitely. Mm-hmm. And so that was my goal. I didn't think I was going to step back and move countries. But yeah, life took me over here, which is very exciting. I moved here in 2020 and January 2020, still ran my business. And then March came around, March 2020, COVID hit and our business closed for a little while. But we managed to get through it. And yeah, I feel like what helped me be able to step back and step away from the business is the community and the employees that I had. We really focused on creating a really good culture. And the girls that worked for me, I wanted them to be like family. And so we did create this little family, which was really nice. And we had a lot of trust and loyalty. So I think that allowed me to be able to step back.
So let's talk about the point in your business where you knew you could step back. What was that like? How did you know you were ready? How did it feel emotionally? Tell us all about that.
Well, the reason why I moved to the US was because I met my husband in Australia, but he is originally from California and lived in California. And we were doing long distance for 5 years.
Oh, wow.
And he was like, "Are you ever going to move?" And I was like, yeah. But I just loved my business. I loved what I did. So I was kind of putting it off for as long as I could. But I did get to a point where I was like, okay, I'm ready. The girls I have working with me are amazing. I totally trust them. They know what I expect from them. So I just knew it was time. I feel like I could have probably left a year or so before, but it was hard to leave. It's like you're a baby.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it was emotional, but...
Okay, so jumping ahead a little bit, I know you had Maddox, your son, in 2022. How did that work into everything you had going? You're in the United States, you've got a business in Australia. Tell us about how you fit all that in and the transitions you had to make at that time.
So that was actually it was such a blessing having Maddox, but it was also a really difficult time for me personally. So I had him in 2022 and I thought, well, my whole goal for building a business was eventually I knew I was going to have a baby at some point, and I wanted to be able to step back, raise my child and have a little bit of involvement in the business, but be able to step away, raise him and still have an income. And obviously living in the US put a little bit of, it was a bit more challenging than living in the same country as your business.
I can only imagine.
Yeah, that was quite difficult. But so when I had my son, I ended up with postnatal depression. So I couldn't be fully present mentally in the business. So that obviously took a little bit of a hit. But in the meantime, a few of my employees were also falling pregnant.
Oh my.
And so they were leaving to have babies. And so we had to hire new employees. And the reason why I was able to step back in the first place was because we had built this solid foundation of our community and our family, as I call it. So hiring new employees to take over from the original ones was, that made a big impact in how challenging it was to kind of not be in the same country.
It's common in this industry. It's so heavily women, and it's so heavily women in childbearing ages that I think this happens a lot. There's pros and cons. You have a baby, which is of course wonderful, but it shifts your career. But the beautiful thing about the beauty industry and our careers is we can manage our schedules to fit our lives. I love how you've worked to build your business that way, even going all the way back to Australia to then, guess I'm jumping ahead here, but you come here, you're in Wichita, you decide to open a suite where now you are only managing yourself and your services that you provide and your clientele. Do you want to talk about how that evolved with having a baby and where you're at with the spa in Australia and what you've done since you've started in a suite here?
Yeah. So I would travel back to Australia a couple times a year to visit the salon and visit the girls. The last time I went back, I was in the salon and I was chatting with the girls, and the girls were super excited about new things that they wanted to do in the salon and bring different products in and things like that. And it was just at that point where I was like, I can't help you like I should be able to help you.
Mm-hmm.
And
just not feeling it.
Yeah, I didn't feel as connected. Mm-hmm. And these are all new girls. I actually personally didn't employ any of them. Yeah. So the connection, there wasn't a deep connection like there was from the beginning. Because some of my employees I had for like 5-7 years. A couple I've had since the beginning, like 12 years ago. But then the newer ones that have come in, I just didn't feel connected. And so I was sitting there listening to them talk about how excited they were about things, and I realized this isn't fair for them. So I spoke with the manager, and she's been with me for 12 years from the beginning. And I just said, do you want to help me with this? And I really want to focus on the US, and I'm going to create a sister store here over in the US, and you just take on Perth, and I just need to step away. And the girls need someone to be present. They need you to come in and create the culture, because
they need to see the leadership.
And you don't have to come in daily as an owner, but you have to be physically present in at some point in time.
Sure, absolutely.
And invested in the people. And I just wasn't there. And so now, and I think having my son really kind of played a big role in that. I think coming into a suite, I can do the hours I want. I can fit in with his school hours, and, I don't have to miss out on excursions and things like that. And I get to just focus on doing what I love most, which is working with people. Like, I love the business aspect of things, but being with people and doing the services I do is just makes me so happy. And so
let's talk about the services you do. What are your favorite things? What do you have to offer? And what do you enjoy the most? What kind of clientele are you looking to build while you're here? Which I hope you're here for a long time.
Yes, I love Wichita. So
Good.
I'm here.
Good.
Yes. And I'm not in a hurry to hire any employees anytime soon.
Yeah.
I feel like this chapter is about me. So I'll definitely be here for a long time. I mainly focus on eyebrow tattooing, or there's so many different methods of eyebrow tattooing. So you hear the word tattoo and you think, oh my gosh, I do not want an eyebrow tattoo. People think of the big, bold, black, blue eyebrows that you used to see walking around. It's definitely not like that. We actually call it semi-permanent makeup in Australia because it doesn't last forever. But yeah, so eyebrow tattooing, lip blushing, which is basically lip tattoo as well.
Which I just got done last week. We'll get to that.
Yes. And I also do 3D areola tattooing. So for people who have had breast cancer, I help to recreate a realistic, areola for them, which I absolutely love doing. It's very rewarding for me, and it's so nice I get to be a part of that journey with the clients as well. So I mostly focus on those three things. I do eyebrow waxing and tinting and things like that because I think you have to know, some people...
It all goes together.
It all goes together. And eyebrow tattooing isn't for everyone. But I think what sets me apart and the business apart is we focus a lot on the skin's health as well. We're implanting pigment into someone's skin. So the health of their skin is going to basically, whatever result you're going to get, it's because your skin is...
The canvas has to be right.
Yes, thank you.
Yes.
So a lot of people I've noticed who do cosmetic tattooing, they may not have a background in skin. And that's what I did for so long, is skin treatments. And I love doing skin treatments. But now focusing on the cosmetic tattooing side, it's important for me to educate my clients on what the health of their skin is like and how that is going to affect their results of the cosmetic tattooing. Because my goal is I want all the tattooing to look natural. I want it so natural that people don't know you've had it done, but so you feel good. You wake up in the morning, if you go to the gym or you go swimming, you just feel like you've got something on, but it's natural.
I'll tell you yours. I've known you now for a few months, and I thought to myself, that has to be, that you don't have it done. And then I thought, well, you have to have it done because that's what you do. And I didn't know. I couldn't tell until I asked you. And I was actually surprised when you said yours are done. I thought you just had naturally perfect eyebrows. So I think it's obvious you are very conscientious of your craft and your work stands out, like you were saying, against the real black lines and the stuff that we see sometimes.
That's what we want to avoid, people to say, oh, have you had your eyebrows tattooed? You just want to glow.
Want to trick them.
Yes.
Yes.
So yeah, having my eyebrows tattooed and my lips tattooed is one of the best things I've done, especially after having a baby when, you don't
have time to get your makeup on.
You don't have time for any of that. So
well, I love mine. So I'll share a little bit about what we did last week. So a week ago today, you did mine. And the question that I've had, everybody loves them. I'm getting great compliments and I know they're still going to brighten up. But the question that I have gotten every single time is, oh my gosh, did it hurt? And it didn't hurt at all. I was numbed. It was relaxing. I don't want to say I enjoyed it, but I did. It wasn't terrible. It wasn't uncomfortable at all. The day after, that night, I loved my lips because they were angry and swollen and really bright. So they looked really good. It looked like I'd just been to the med spa, had some filler, and had on some great lipstick. So the first day, I loved them. The second day, they felt irritated. And to say that it hurt would be an exaggeration. It never hurt. It was uncomfortable. I tried not to laugh because I felt like they were going to bust. And I just kept the Aquaphor on them. And I am just loving that whether I've washed my face at night and I'm getting ready for bed and I look in the mirror and there's something there, or when I get all my makeup on in the morning, I don't have to put my lipstick on last and wait for it to fall off when I eat. So I'm excited as they evolve. We're still early in, but I'm loving it so far. And it was a great experience.
Oh, good.
I would do it again in a heartbeat. I will never be without it for the rest of my life. So you've got a lifelong customer. I hope that's okay.
I love that. And that's what I love about this industry is I get to make lifelong customers, but lifelong friends.
Yeah.
It's awesome building these relationships, but I'm so glad you had a good experience and that you're loving them.
And I will tell you, I have a very low pain tolerance. I'm a wimp and a little bit of a hypochondriac too that goes with
me
that.
Too.
So for me to say it doesn't hurt, it doesn't hurt. I think the numbing gel was great. Yeah. It didn't hurt. And like I said, the first few days were uncomfortable, but still worth it. No regrets. Like I said, I'll never go without. Let's talk about trends. I know that the eyebrows have been a thing for several years. The lip blushing is new. The term is new. It's new around here. Maybe it's been going on in Australia, but I don't know anyone else who's had it done. So it's coming around, and I'm sure between us we'll try to beef that up a little bit. But I want to talk about trends. I know you have some funny stories about bad trends. I know you have strong opinions about trends and how you work with them, considering what you do is permanent. So I'd just love for you to speak to that.
So I'm a big believer that you should not follow trends if something is going to be semi-permanent or, permanent. I just strongly believe that you should follow your own natural line, your natural hair growth. You just want to accentuate what you've already got.
Okay.
We're not creating a whole different picture. We don't want to change what you look like. We just want to enhance your natural beauty, basically. When people come in, and especially when eyebrows, I was only, 20 and just before that, everyone wanted these big, bold eyebrows.
Yes.
And so people would come in and they'd ask me to tattoo these big, bold eyebrows on their face. And I'm like, no.
You're going to hate it.
I'm like, yes, it's going to fade, but you could still be left with a little bit of pigment, on your eyebrows for a really long time. Mm-hmm. And I don't want you to wake up in the morning or go swimming and feel like, oh my gosh, what did I do? Why did I make this decision? When
all the rest of your makeup's off, but you've got big, bold eyebrows.
Yes. You don't want your eyebrows to be the first thing people look at.
Yes.
They want, you want them to look at, you want them to look at your eyes and just, talk to you and not be staring at your eyebrows going, oh my gosh.
What have you done?
Yes, that's not what you want. So when people come to me and they want a particular style or trend that is not going to suit them, it's not going to look natural on them, I will say no. I believe.
How does that work? When you say no, do you get pushback or do they appreciate your input?
A lot of them appreciate it. Good. So, and I think it's important to understand that not everyone who walks through your door is going to be the right fit for you. Mm-hmm. And that is totally okay. You can say no. But basically how I would do it is I would say to them, let's start with just an eyebrow tint, put a bit of color on, and then let's kind of work our way up to doing the tattoo. I want you to get used to a different style and like a more of a natural style. And then cosmetic tattooing requires 2 visits. So I kind of describe it like nail polish. The first visit is your first coat of nail polish. It looks nice. Mm-hmm. But the second coat is, finishing it off. The color deepens, the definition deepens and things like that. So I'll do the first visit for the client and then I'll say to them, now get used to that. See what you think. If you want to add a little bit more, we can do that on your second visit. If you want to go darker, a little bit thicker, things like that, we can do that. But by the time they come back for their second visit, they are like, oh, wow, I'm so glad you didn't go thicker. I think it's my job to educate clients and help them understand that this is not makeup you can wash off.
Right.
So you want it to look beautiful and natural, and you can play around with makeup. If you want a night out, you can, make your eyebrows bolder, or if you want a different color on your lip, you can do a bright red.
I did get asked a lot this week too, how you chose the color. If I chose it, if you chose it, that was a big question. And I'll let you tell how you go about that. I thought it was brilliant. I trusted you, and I liked the methods you used to pick what would be a good color.
So with the lip blushing, basically, I always ask the client, is there a particular color that you wear all the time? Because usually people are drawn to one color over the other. It's one that they've worn for years, and it's typically a tone that suits them. That's why they're drawn to it. So that plays a little bit of a factor in how we choose it. But also I have to look at the undertone of your lips. Okay, some people have naturally like pink lips. Some people have a blue undertone. So we have to do a little bit of color theory where if your lips are a little bit on the blue, the cooler undertones, then we need to neutralize with more of an orange color, because otherwise your lips could turn like purple.
Oh boy.
So there's a little bit of color theory that goes into it. So that plays a little bit of a role. But the really nice thing about lip blushing or any cosmetic tattooing is that the second visit, you can always say to me, I love the way it's healed, but I think I want a bit more pink, or I think I want a little bit more of a nude color or a coral color. So you can always kind of like add, and then say every few years you'll just come back and see me and get a little bit of a touch up on your lips. And then again, you can be like, oh, maybe a little bit of this or a little bit of this, or maybe a little bit brighter.
Do you have the same thing happen with eyebrows where someone says, I've always worn bright red lipstick. It's what I've done every day of my life. Put me in bright red lipstick.
Yes.
How do you handle that?
I have had clients who want bright red. So when we do lip blushing, when it heals, it really isn't bold like a lipstick. It's more like a tint. I really loved actually how you said the other day lip tinting. I was like, ooh, I should call it lip tinting.
Oh, did I say that?
Yes.
I don't remember.
I was like, oh, I like that.
Okay.
Because that's what it is, really. It's like a lip tint. Mm-hmm. So even if someone was to say, I really want this really dark red, when it heals, it's still going to be a really soft tint. Mm-hmm. So it's not like a matte lipstick. So it is a little bit different. But if I do think that is going to be the complete wrong color for someone, we will definitely tone it down, make it a little bit more neutral. And then again, the second visit, I will chat to my client, see what she likes about it. Does she want to go a little bit more red? And then kind of adjust from there. But
ease in.
Yes.
Well, so I'm sure you've had some really crazy requests and questions. I can see you smiling. What are some stories that would make everybody laugh and hopefully not make us think, oh no, that was me?
I actually had a girl come in with a fake ID.
Oh.
And she said, she showed me the ID and she said, can you tattoo my eyebrows like this picture? Because I want to get into the nightclubs.
How old was she?
Well, in Australia, you can go out when you're 18. So she must have been...
So she wanted to be matched to her fake ID.
To her fake ID, which I won't tattoo anyone under 18 anyway.
Right.
Not even if their parent is
right.
consent, unless there's a medical condition that, alopecia or something like that. But I could not believe it. I was like, absolutely not. I mean, I was very nice about it, but...
Sure.
I mean,
oh, that's funny.
That was crazy. We have had a client come in and she wanted to be Kim Kardashian.
Oh.
And so she was like, can you tattoo my eyebrows, my lips? I want to look like Kim Kardashian. That was never going to happen. So we definitely get some strange requests. There was one client who she drew her eyebrows on, that she drew the ends of her eyebrows all the way to her ears. Oh. And she wanted them tattooed like that.
Oh, no.
And I was like, no, we cannot do that. No. I said, I'll measure them and do, the right shape.
Then you can finish them off.
And you can just put makeup on the ends every day if you want. But I'm like, I cannot do that. So, but she actually was one who I did them the way I would do them. And then she came back for a second visit and she said, thank you so much for not tattooing them down to my ears.
Oh, yeah.
But,
That's great.
you know, you do deal with different wants, but also people look in the mirror and see different things. Mm-hmm. So.
And we're also self-critical.
We are.
I know. You're really good at dealing with that. You make people feel like they look good no matter what.
Oh, thank you.
But you're very easy to be around.
Oh, thank you.
Tell me, do you have any misconceptions that people have that you've found to be entertaining over the years? What they think about the process, or?
I get asked a lot more than what I thought. I get asked if I shave the eyebrows off before I start tattooing them. And I just was shocked when I first heard that question. I was like, why would I do that? Yeah. My whole goal is to, work with, even if you've got a little tiny bit of eyebrow hair, is to work with your eyebrow hair to make realistic hair strokes and things like that. So I was like, oh my gosh, no. And then after I got asked that question once, I don't know, I got asked, it kept coming, and I was like, oh my gosh, I did not believe that this was a thing.
I can't imagine if I'm laying there and you're putting some cream on, you're going to shave my eyebrows off. I'm going to jump off the table and run.
Well, these people were very calm about it, just laying down on the bed, are you about to shave my eyebrows off now? And I'm like, pardon? I was like, no.
Oh, that's funny.
I wouldn't have even walked in the door if I was a client thinking my eyebrows were going to get shaved off.
Yeah, exactly. I wouldn't be here. Well, so tell me about the business that you hope to build here in Wichita in your suite. Who do you hope to attract? What is your what will give you the feeling of success here in Wichita?
I find that I'm always attracting women that are I typically don't attract really young people, like not really people in their 20s. I always attract.
Maybe that's because as we age, our lips lose color and our eyebrows, I don't know where they go.
Yeah, and I think
things just change.
Yeah.
And when you're young, you don't need as much. And you get older and you see it all slipping away. Yes. And so you find someone who can dial it back.
Yes. And I think the younger people do want trends and things like that. Where I think as we get older, we understand that we have a busy lifestyle. We do want to put makeup on. We just sometimes do not have the time because our life is so busy. And I think life is busy now, whether you have kids or animals to look after or work. We have a life now that we are all busy. And so I think it definitely is becoming a lot more popular, the cosmetic tattoo treatments, because no one has time to put makeup on. And
I find here there's not very many people who do it. When you're looking for someone to do it, there's a gal here in town who has a great reputation, and I know she's busy, but it can take a year to get into her.
Yeah.
And then I know there are a few outliers. There are other people who do it, but if you're looking for that, it is hard to find someone who you can trust and who you can even get a referral for.
Yes. It's something that you do want to get to meet the person and get to know them. And that's also why, I offer free consults, because I think it's important to come in and get an idea of what the process is, or how does it work for me, and is it even suitable for me? So I think that's super important. But I think it's, building that trust and just knowing not everyone is going to suit the eyebrow tattooing, or, I do 3 different methods of eyebrow tattooing. So, and that will depend on which one we choose, depends on the conversations I have with the client, what skin health they have, what their eyebrow hair is like, and also what their lifestyle is, and do they wear makeup all the time or just minimal, things like that. So there's a lot more that goes into it. So it is definitely about building trust and building a good relationship with people.
Well, we're excited that you're here. I love having your services in our salon network. We have a lot of hairstylists, we have estheticians, waxers, nurse injectors, but you bring something different that we can really use to our advantage as a company for having you in here. And hopefully we can support your business as well with referrals and sharing with our clients what you do with the existing clients.
Thank you. Yes, I'm super excited to really get going in here. I love that we can refer clients to each other because everything goes hand in hand.
And the trust is already built. The people who are
Yes.
seeing the other people in the building, the trust is built. So when they recommend you, there's a little more weight with
Yes.
that. Or like me actually having it done carries some weight. I can tell someone
100%.
my experience, so there's already a little bit of trust built.
Yes,
So
definitely.
we hope we can help you grow significantly and provide great services so that everybody's walking around Wichita looking good and not looking crazy.
Yes, that's what we want.
Yes.
No, I'm super excited.
Yes. So, Ashleigh, very few people do this, as we've just said. How did you figure out that this was where you wanted to niche down? How did this become your thing and something you've really invested in and gotten extremely talented at?
So I started just doing, beauty all round, skincare, waxing, body treatments, things like that. And then I love all aspects of it. But I started working at a salon that only did eyebrow waxing and tinting. That was all they did. And so I just loved that clients would come in every 2 to 3 weeks, get their eyebrows waxed, get them tinted, and just how it made them feel was really awesome. But also to see the difference that I could see a client for 6 months and we'd be working on growing out their eyebrows or something like that. And it was so awesome to see the transformation over that time. And then, but there was some clients who, their eyebrows are never going to grow back. They're always going to have patches missing and things like that. And I wanted something more for them. I had thick eyebrows growing up, and then my mum would take me to the beautician and they would wax them off because thin eyebrows were a thing. And so I had eyebrows that were super thin and didn't grow back. And I'm actually allergic to tinting and hair dye, so I could never tint my eyebrows. So they never looked full. I always had to draw them on. So I also was like, what can I do to help my clients but also help me? So I got into cosmetic tattooing, and I was actually one of the first people in Western Australia who was doing microblading. We call it eyebrow feathering, but microblading the same thing. So it really just became the thing I did. It was like my niche. It was literally eyebrows. And so I literally built, like, just me solo, a 6-figure business just doing eyebrows.
Wow.
And then when I built the big business and had employees, I did want to offer other treatments such as like skin treatments, because that goes hand in hand with, we talk about the canvas of the skin. The skin is, the canvas for my tattooing work. So I want it to be healthy. And because I've been doing this for, I think, eyebrow tattooing for like 10 years, 12 years actually. So as my clients would come back every year or two for touch-ups, you learn how the pigment heals and you learn how it heals in different skin types. So that's when we started going, okay, we need to focus on people's skin as well. So we added that in.
I don't think anybody else does that, do they?
No, not a lot do, but also...
And I don't know that. I haven't done my research.
But no, not a lot do.
I've never heard of someone considering the skin itself.
And that's super important. But a lot of I've trained all over the world in cosmetic tattooing, but I've also got a background in skin. And so I think, that's super important. And a lot of people don't have that. But we never really advertised skin ever, because we were known for brows.
Yeah.
So we would have people come to us. They would travel hours to get to us.
Wow.
And we always had a wait list. It was just awesome. But when our clients would come in, we would educate them on skin then and make a treatment plan.
So does that help the longevity
Yes.
and color and all the things?
Yes. Okay. So, for example, we had a client who she had really oily skin. And so we would do her cosmetic tattooing on her eyebrows and it would only last 6 to 9 months. And then it would start fading. And so we started doing skin needling or micro needling on her skin. And we did about 6 sessions, and then we did her touch up on her eyebrow tattooing, and it lasted like 2 years.
Wow.
And it looked good. The pigment heals really well. It lasts longer. So it's different for each skin type. Like someone who has pigmented skin, I'm prone to pigment, so I'm prone to my eyebrows turning a little bit ashy in color. So when I look after my skin, I prevent the pigment from turning ashy. So it's different, yeah. So there's so much that goes into it that is, you know, you don't even think about. But going back to just having a niche, I think it's super important to have a niche. I feel like you want to go to a specialist in a certain area. You know, what they specialize in is, you know, that's what they do all day, every day.
Yeah.
They're good at it.
And the experience you've built from trial and error.
Exactly.
All the years.
Yeah. Yes. I think if I was doing, you know, multiple different things, I wouldn't be able to just focus on one thing and do it really, really well.
Yeah. I've noticed that in this industry, the people who I see do the best business have niched down.
Yes.
I mean, even hairstylists who pick something they're excellent at and run with it. And it's hard because you love to do it all. You're built to do it all. You're trained to do it all.
Yeah.
And your demand is there, but it's hard because sometimes you have to push away some of the demand for things that don't suit you so you can make space to do what you're really good at.
Definitely. And then you can also increase your prices.
Oh, yeah.
Because if you specialize in one thing or you're known for that thing, that's
builds
awesome.
the value
Totally.
significantly.
And it doesn't mean you can't do other things, but to be known for that is what has helped me build my business from just me to having employees and having a wait list. So yeah, it's definitely worked well for me. And I think it's important to not oversaturate yourself and offer too many things.
So for the beauty professionals who are listening, and I'm going to say most of them will be hairstylists and estheticians, they are possibly getting curious about how they can niche down. How would you tell them to sort that out? If they're thinking, you know, I love doing it all. I'm really good at most things. I'm extra good at 5 things. But, you know, if they're inspired by maybe I should niche down and really double down on one thing that I'm good at and really, really build my income on that, how would you tell them to sort that out? What would you say?
That's a good question. One hairdresser really stands out to me in Perth, because she specializes in blondes and all she does is blondes, and that's all she's known for. And it's crazy because people think, oh, if I stick to just one thing, am I going to get busy? Do I have enough people? I should offer all these other things because, I won't get
Because not everybody has blonde hair.
Yeah, so they think that, but there's people...
They think they're limiting their...
Yes, but they're actually targeting a big audience of who they want to attract. But that was just one hairdresser that stood out to me because I'd never really seen that before. And I thought that's really cool because, like, she can educate a lot of women about blonde hair. So, yeah, I don't know. I thought that was really cool. But I think figuring out what your niche could be, you could also – what you want to do something you love. Okay, so for me, I never did nails or acrylic nails or – eyelash extensions or anything like that when I was doing training. It just wasn't my thing. I didn't enjoy doing any of that. So I knew that was not going to be part of my world. And there are some amazing specialists out there that focus on that, and that's awesome. And they're good at it.
They're so
that's what they do.
And they get fast.
Yeah. So once you find what you really love, do that because that's what's going to make you wake up in the morning and be excited to go to work.
I think you really hit on it when you said there's a fear of there not being enough of a pool of clientele. You know, not everybody's blonde, but there are plenty of blondes to fill your books.
Oh, yes. now that I'm starting to get grey hair, I am going blonde because I'm not allergic to blonde. It's only browns that I'm allergic to with hair dye. Now that I'm going blonde, I would want to go to someone who specialises in blonde.
Yes.
That is who I'd want to go to because I don't want orange. I don't want... I don't know.
You don't want your
hair
hair
grey.
fried.
I don't want orange. I don't want my hair fried. I want it to maintain its health and things like that. So I would search for that. I feel like, I don't know, like when a lot of dentists now are doing injecting, but to me,
you want an injector or a dentist injecting your Botox?
I want to go to the dentist for my teeth because that's what they do.
Yes.
And I want to go to an injector who does injecting.
And not teeth.
So yeah, that just makes sense.
I agree. I talked to a gal yesterday. She's one of our tenants in one of our other salons, and she is a gray coverage specialist.
Oh,
and
amazing.
That's another one that I'm telling you, and that group of people that require gray coverage are such a lovely demographic. They are usually a little bit older. They maintain their appointments. They can afford it, and they care, and they're lovely. And she enjoys talking to older people. She's young. It was interesting because as we were talking about that, she's young. I'm guessing 30, give or take. And she looks young, but she has a very old soul.
Yes.
And so she relates to them. And so as we were talking a little bit of business building and just about how she fears that people aren't attracted to her because she's young, looks young. She doesn't have one gray hair.
Yep.
And she doesn't look like she's ever going to get any in the near future. So it's hard for those people to relate to her. But I was talking to her about, really sell yourself on your old soul. You're very relatable to them.
Totally.
And although you don't have gray hair, you know how, and just like you're saying, with blondes, grays can go bad. It can go the wrong color. It can fade off. And so anyway, I was excited to have a conversation with someone who's really niching down in something that I don't see anybody else doing.
Yeah, I love that. That is awesome. And it makes you become the expert in that field.
Yes.
And that is...
It gives you authority.
Yes. Yeah. Totally. And that's what's going to bring in clients. That just builds trust. I'm going to trust you because you specialize in grey, covering greys. Awesome. I know you're going to do a good job. Like it's the specialty just says it all. And I think even when I was in my 20s doing this, my clients were still a bit older. And it is like the connection with the old soul. I love that. I think I feel like we probably get a little bit self-conscious thinking, oh, I'm young or I look young or they're not going to come to me and things like that. But you'll be so surprised at how they connect with you and they don't even think anything different. It's that thing about being self-critical again. Like we're critical and overthink, but in this industry, you do just connect with people. That's why we're in the industry.
The connections are, and trust. And then it turns into friendship.
Yes.
Ashleigh, thank you so much for your time today. It's been so fun to talk to you. It's been fun for me to learn about your whole journey from Australia to the United States. I'm sure everyone enjoyed listening as well. You offered a lot of insight about what you do, and I feel like we all know more about the services you provide and what that looks like. I hope we've incited some curiosity. And I have to say, we all love listening to you talk about anything because your accent is just beautiful. So thank you for taking the time to do this in your beautiful suite here at Utopia. It's been fun to see it come together, and I look forward to finding out that you have a long wait list.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you having me.
You're welcome. Thank you for listening. We will include Ashleigh's contact information in the show notes if you'd like to reach out to her and learn more about the services she provides or how she niched down in the industry if you're an industry professional that wants to talk to her about those things. If you've enjoyed our show, please subscribe and share it with a friend. Thank you.
This show is part of the ICT Podcast Network. For more information, visit ictpod.net.